All right, today I'm going to help you make a flip chart. I like flip charts because I think it is an easy way for you to keep your notes all together. We've been learning all about the different types of sentences, and if you've noticed, I haven't really given you any notes because I knew that today I would be helping you make something that would take the place of notes that you will find to be very helpful. All right, so make sure you have the following supplies. You're going to need 5 index cards. You're going to need the piece of paper that has the notes already typed out for you. And you're going to need some Scotch tape, a glue stick, which, you can leave the glue sticks in the basket and you can leave the tape in the basket. So leave these things in the basket and only take them as needed. Same thing with the scissors. They can just stay in the basket as well. You'll only need to take these supplies when needed and as needed. That way everybody can get to them when they can. Okay, so as long as you have all of these things, you're going to be able to make your flip chart. Don't forget to get the cardstock, that really firm piece of paper that's not flimsy like a normal piece of paper. Okay, so we are ready to go. The first thing you need to do is we took a lot of time measuring the notes that are going to be glued down to your index cards. And we didn't want a bunch of scraps all over the room of paper for our poor custodians to have to clean. So as you can see, you will be cutting right along this line, like almost like a weird L shape kind of, so that the only scrap piece of paper, when you're done cutting, you will have one solid piece of paper that needs to be thrown away. This is what we're going to throw away. Please notice it is one piece of paper. You are not cutting a bunch of little tiny pieces of paper that are going to be falling everywhere, making it very difficult for the custodian to clean my room tonight. So when you cut along the lines, you're going to cut so that you have one piece of paper that you can get up and put into the trash can when you are ready. Nobody wants to clean up your trash. So take your little piece of paper, walk it over to the trash can right now and drop it in. So pause the video while you cut and throw away your one piece of scrap paper. All right, pause right now and cut. Okay, just double checking. Did you put that piece of paper in the trash can? You need to use those legs of yours and walk it over to the trash can and throw it away right now. Pause the video. If you did throw it away, we're ready to continue. All right, lay out your index cards and write on each one the words that I have here. And each index card is going to get your little squares that you have already cut out from that big piece of paper. So if I were you, I would pause the video right here and I would write down the words at the bottom. Notice how I have the words at the bottom of the index card. Make sure you're writing them at the bottom. I would write down these at the bottom of each index card, kind of in the center, and then match up the appropriate piece to each index card so that your desk is going to look like this. So make sure the helpful hints has the card that has the little chart on it. Make sure complex sentences matches up to the complex sentences, which I have labeled. You can see it's labeled up at the top. And make sure that you match up, the dependent clause with the dependent index card. Make sure you match up the compound sentences with the compound sentence card and the independent with the independent index card. Okay, all of these little notes that are supposed to be on each index card clearly says it up at the top, so you have to make sure that they match up. All right, so here's a closer look. The little piece of paper that has the chart goes to helpful hints. As you can see, it says complex sentences. That needs to be matched up with complex index card. The dependent notes needs to match up with the dependent clause index card. The compound sentence fanboys needs to match up with the compound index card. And the independent needs to match up with the independent clause index card. All right, so you really need to take a second and make sure that each one is ready to go to the right index card. It will be a disaster if you glue the compound notes onto the complex index card. Your notes are going to be a disaster. So please take a second and make sure that each of these is matched up correctly. So you can pause the video if you need to and get this done. The next thing we need to do is we're going to glue each of these little pieces of paper on the back of the index card. We want to glue them on the back, but you need to remember that this is going to be a flip chart, and I want to show you the end results. I want to show you what we're trying to get to. This is what it's going to look like when all is said and done, but what I want you to look at is that when you flip the index card, you flip it upwards, you want the words to be right side up. You don't want the words to be upside down. So before you glue the notes onto the back of these index cards, you're going to want to flip your index card over so that the complex sentence is on the back but it's facing up. That way you glue your words down so that when you flip them, you don't want these notes right here. Hang on, I'm going to zoom in. You don't want these notes on here to be upside down. Can you imagine flipping your card and this is what you see? Everything is upside down? Of course not. Okay, that's not going to work. You definitely want to have everything right side up so that when you flip your index card, this is how it will read. So take a second and make sure that you're gluing this on the right way. Nobody wants to flip their notes and read and have these words be upside down, right? You want the words to be upside or straight up like that, okay? So it's really important that you take the time to glue the notes down so that when you flip it, they are facing up the right way. So I would pause the video right now and I would glue all of my notes on to each of the index cards so that when you flip them, they are faced up. Okay, so pause the video and grab the glue stick and start gluing your notes onto the back of the index cards, but make sure that when you flip them, they are not upside down. Wah, wah, wah. Not a good idea. All right, pause the video and start gluing. All right, now that you have everything glued down, go ahead and take the cardstock, which is the real firm piece of paper, and your sixth and last index card can be cut in half, and you're going to write sentence structure, just like I did up at the top, and go ahead and glue that down on your cardstock up at the top. You're going to want, as you can see, mine is at the very, very top of the paper. So make sure you glue your sentence structure up at the very top. All right, pause the video. Oh, and then obviously, sorry, obviously write the words sentence structure on it and glue it down. All right, so pause the video while you get this next step done. All right, now, what we're going to do is we're going to have to kind of work backwards. So if up here is my sentence, it's hard to write in this, my sentence structure little sign, what I'm going to need to have now is I have to go all the way down to the bottom of my cardstock, and I'm going to put, a piece of Scotch tape, as you can see. I'm going to put a piece of Scotch tape and I'm going to glue my first helpful hints. So everybody grab their helpful hints index card. I'm going to wait here for a second. Get your helpful hints. That's the first one. Yes, it has to be helpful hints. It can't be compound or any other one. Make sure you get helpful hints. And go ahead and, as you can see here, if I zoom in, you're going to Scotch tape it down to your cardstock. Okay? And then you'll get the blue one. And you can probably see that little piece of tape right here. All right, you're going to kind of place it so that it is right slightly above the helpful hints. And you can tape it down as well. And then we're going to place the dependent clause index card just right above the complex. And as you can see, I have taped it down as well. So you'll tape down. So why don't you pause the video and get these 3 done. Make sure it goes in this order: helpful hints, complex, dependent. All right, Scotch tape those down. Pause the video while you get that step taken care of. All right, next find the compound sentence index card, and you can Scotch tape it up at the top. Again, making sure that if and when you flip this up to read the notes on the other side, the words are facing the right way for you. Very important. Next will be the independent clause index card. Go ahead and find that, and you can tape it down as well. And that should be it, friends. You then should have a nice, colorful flip chart that looks like this. I don't know what colors you used. It really doesn't matter. They could be all white index cards. Who cares? The fact is you have a nice flip chart that when you flip each card, you're going to have notes for each one. And that will be your notes on sentence structure. All right? You can, when your flip chart is done and it's all made and it's ready, you can hole punch it. Hopefully, maybe I already hole punched the white cardstock for you. I think I did. So it's already hole punched, and you're going to put this in the notes section of your binder, and that way I'll know you are done. Good work.